We've seen an increase in requests from potential funders for youth so the funders are asking for youth to be involved in decisions on how important do you feel youth, young adults' involvement is in decision making for the sustainability of the diaspora community-led nonprofits?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and jump in. I will just say from my perspective, you shouldn't be doing anything that doesn't have a youth voice involved for no other reason than their perspective is, one, going to be impacted longer, whatever your decision being made, but they also see it differently because of that distance between whatever it is you're trying to do and accomplish. So when I look back at Atlantic Terrace, there isn't a commission that doesn't have a youth voice, either formally on it as a member, or we go out and find that information and solicit it from them directly. And I will say that that's our financial sustainability task force, going to who signs up for things. That's important. Every city, I think, is facing some form of bad news. But not all of us are going to be here long enough to see us come out of that. So we should have youth voice in that one. But then we also have it on those same commissions, as I mentioned earlier. Those commissions, not just our DEI, we also have arts, we have Parks and Rec. Their voice should be throughout the city and should be identified. And if you don't, you really should be questioning the work that you're trying to do for the quote-unquote future.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I mean, to build on that, you know, I believe that youth engagement should not be symbolic, and it should be part of your strategy. We talk about the prison pipeline a lot, but we need leadership pipelines for our youth. Who is your successor? Who is going to come after you, carry the torch, and finish the mission that you started? And so I am here and was elected at 24 because people believed in me. They created space for me. They invested in me and encouraged me to be here. And so I firmly believe that we should be involving our youth, mentoring them, allowing them to direct us and tell us what they need. It is not, it shouldn't be that they're informing us, but they are part of the solution. They are leading us. They are creating with us. Because times are changing, and I was telling my sister earlier today, I was like, I don't know how to keep up anymore. I was like, you gotta stay hip because I'm just not cool anymore. And so times are changing. It's very difficult for us. Imagine they've already had to go through COVID, and the times that we're living right now, it's very stressful. And so how do we give them space and access to power so that they can be the ones leading the next generation?
Love that. I was going to say shout out to the young people that are here. I think y'all are young. Maybe you're just all moisturized. I don't know. Looking good. I'm jealous. I appreciate it. Actually, again, I'm just going to tell a story because y'all have done so much. But when I worked at Seattle Foundation, we were doing some funding, and one of the groups that we were looking at was doing some work with youth. And I was like, oh, cool, we're looking at this. We reviewed the grant application, right? And we asked them to come in for a meeting. I'm thinking, so I sent my little invite out. I emailed the executive director. I booked a little conference room for 2 people. And he showed up with like 7 teenagers. And I was like, yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Let me go get a different conference room. But I tell that story because it's a little bit like, it stuck with me in terms of like, I was like, why didn't I ask him to bring young people in the first place? Like I should have said, hey, can you bring some young people, right? And it also stuck with me in the sense of like, be that executive director when somebody doesn't ask you to show up with the young people, just bring them anyway, right? And it was great and it was powerful because I was like, okay, I understand. I'm talking directly to you. I'm not talking about you without you being here. Even though my goal, my intentions or whatever were pure, whatever you want to say it, right? It was a gap. And in that moment, like educated me, right? So that's what I got.
Thank Thank you. First of all, I'm an old soul, so I have a problem dealing with the Gen Zs. Because of the way they text and react, you know, the LOLs and all those things, I'm still learning. But I was asked to speak at the National League of Cities in DC. And you have about 5,000 elected officials from the whole US. And then the city of Beaverton in Oregon sent 8 high schoolers. And I said, where are you guys from? They said, Beaverton. I said, what are you doing? Well, we are youth council. Youth council for who and for what? And then they explained. I said, this is beautiful. That is what we call a succession plan. The only reason why business is sustainable is because they built a succession plan. You know, as an African man will say, there's not only wisdom, well, we don't have wisdom in only Andrew's head. So if Andrew should disappear, that wisdom should be passed on to another. I don't like to read my answers, but I'll read this one. Youth and young adult involvement is absolutely critical to the long-term sustainability of diaspora-led nonprofits. If organizations are meant to serve future generations, those generations must have a voice in shaping priorities, programming, and strategy. Without them, there's no future.
Thank you so much.